Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
Ooh, you did that all like, I don't even know. You felt mischievous when you did that. If anyone's watching the video. I mean, for those of you
I'm
watching the video.
I feel like I'm just channeling you because this is that t-shirt that you gave me, so
Oh, I when you put that on, I was like, "Oh, that looks familiar." Duh. Well, this is PNW Haunts and Homicides, where we chat about true crime, the paranormal, our t-shirts, and all things
Yeah.
spooky in the Pacific Northwest. We also do tarot reading at the end of every episode for some deeper insight into what we're talking about for the day. So stick around if you're in for that. We haven't said that in a while.
Oh, if you're into that.
Right, because we know you're sticking around. Well, today we're going to be visiting Grays Harbor in Washington.
Ooh.
It's the gateway to the Pacific Ocean and the Olympic Peninsula, or so it says on their website. It's about 104 miles southwest of Seattle, and the main river flowing into the harbor is the Chehalis. Close by is the Quinault Reservation and Lake Quinault Lodge, which we've done an episode on. Then I went there
That
and I
we have.
found out it was totally haunted after I stayed.
That honestly, that's very on brand for me. That
Yeah.
would that would be the way that I would want that to go down.
I don't know how I didn't look it up. We've talked about it on the episode, though. I actually had an experience there, so go back and listen
Yeah.
if you don't know what I mean. On my way up there, I drove through the largest town on Gray Harbor, Aberdeen, and something happened that still upsets me to this day. I may have mentioned it before, I don't know. Maybe in that episode about Lake Quinault, but I'm gonna bring it up again because it's relevant.
Okay.
Aberdeen is the hometown of Kurt Cobain. You might have heard of him. He was in a little Seattle grunge band called Nirvana.
Yeah.
And the sign reads, "Welcome to Aberdeen. Come as you are."
I love
And I
it.
think it's the cutest thing ever. And I'm so pissed at myself for not getting a picture of
Oh.
it. But it just means I have to go back. The song title from Nirvana's second album was added to the welcome sign in 2005 in in commemoration of Kurt, who passed in '94.
I was gonna say 2005.
Yeah, they added it in 2000.
Yeah.
I thought they added it
Oh,
sooner than that, but or, you know what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
like, further back.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I know what you mean, like, sooner after, like, he
Yes.
became famous, sooner after his passing, like, that's a long time in
Yeah.
between.
They did it for, like, the 10-year
Hmm,
anniversary of his passing, but it was, like, a year after that, so they didn't really quite hit it on the 10-year mark, but
yeah.
they tried. Uh, well, is this
I
the,
I wasn't sure if
wine
you could thank you, love. Yeah, I
wine
wasn't sure if you
delivery?
could see it. He was
No?
trying to make the wine glass float in my
Oh,
screen.
I only see your face. I'm jealous. I want a wine delivery. Come on.
I know.
Where's my ghost wine deliverer? Anyway, while we're in the area and on the subject of signage, there is a popular highway sign that had to be taken down due to the amount of people constantly taking pictures with it and causing traffic hazards.
Oh.
The sign simply states the distances to Elma, Montesano, and Aberdeen, those being 6 miles, 16 miles, and 26 miles. The draw is a famous photo of Nirvana's bassist, Chris Novoselic, holding Kurt up to cover the 1 and the 2 on the sign, showing only the numbers 666. Ooh. Isn't it
I
cute?
love it. It's
And
adorable.
he's, like, holding him like one leg. I don't know, it just looks like strongman down there.
It really does, yeah, he looks like a big guy.
Mhm. In 2018, they finally decided they had to change the 26 to a 27, even though that was not the accurate distance to Aberdeen.
Stop it.
Yeah,
What?
I know, and I feel like people still I think they graffitied it and, like, put a 6 on it anyway. It would just caused it didn't help the situation.
They're like, "No."
This ain't right.
Yeah.
Also, to just, like, change the mileage and it not even be correct is very odd.
Yeah. Like,
The
can't we just move the sign? Like, can't we
Yeah,
put it, like, a mile earlier
but
or
then they would
something? I don't
have to,
know.
like well, you'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Okay.
So the old sign was removed to preserve and eventually turn into an art installation where people can safely admire and take photos of it, not being on the side of a highway.
Love that.
And a new highway sign was installed in a new location, accurately showing the distances to the 3 towns of 5, 15, and 25. So they
Okay.
moved it a mile up, but they
Okay.
had to change the entire sign.
Yeah. Well,
And people still go and, like, take pictures with that one too, but not as
oh, I
many
bet.
because it's
Yeah.
not as cool, but
Yeah.
so, that's not what our episode is about today. That was just some fun facts of things in Aberdeen,
Okay.
which is right on Gray Harbor. Gray's Harbor? Gray's Harbor. Gray's
Yeah.
Anatomy. Is that what Gray's Anatomy is named after? Because it's in Seattle?
I you know?
There are several places around the harbor that may have some paranormal activity, one of which is the Polson Museum, a riverfront
Ooh.
colonial mansion, the former home of owners of the Polson Logging Company, and it
Ooh.
was built in 1924, so pretty old.
That's like the dream.
Yeah. Can you like, loggers probably, like, made bank back in the day. Well, I mean, we know that
Oh,
for a
yeah.
fact. It was
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever heard of the Weyerhaeusers?
Funny you say that. In my research, I didn't really write it down, but Aberdeen was, like, the logging capital of the world back then or something.
I believe it.
Yeah. So the museum is now full of antiques of the time and logging historical artifacts. And some visitors think that these items have pretty spooky vibes.
Okay.
Others believe it is home to a lady in white apparition
Oh
because we
my gourd.
can't get away without a lady in white ghost and
No.
a ghostly child.
No. No. No.
'Cause they have kind of the room set up like how they used to be, so they have, like, a kitchen and they have a nursery, and so they think the child ghost lives in the nursery.
Oh. Like, you're ruining my art deco mansion with this creepy abandoned nursery.
Well, see, what you have to do is if you have something like that, don't fill it with real antiques and artifacts, you have to do replicas so that the energy isn't attached. Because I can definitely see,
Or
like
just buy, like, non-haunted antiques.
I feel like no antiques can get away without energy. Like, all of them have something.
I mean, energy, but they're not all haunted.
Yeah, that's true. But you never know. I don't know.
Yeah,
You just never know what's gonna come with a little child ghost or whatever.
for sure. No, I'd be like, "Dad, I need the china cabinet, okay? It's my time. I'm ready. I have my art deco mansion now, so I want the china cabinet and all of its contents."
And hopefully there's no little kids attached.
Hey, listen, honestly, that is very high priority, but I would say that honestly, um, the number one danger here is that, like, "Oh my gosh, now I have actual real crystal." Unfortunately, a lot of it
Mm.
has lead in it.
Oh, just don't lick it.
Um,
It's just for display. Why would you be licking a crystal?
no, babe, because
You
it's like
can't use
crystal glassware.
No, you can't use it.
Yeah, you actually can.
It's no, display only, especially if it has lead in
No.
it, you crazy fucking crazy
No.
person.
No, you can use your crystal glassware even if it has lead in it. It's a personal choice. I personally have very, very definitely used the crystal glassware with the lead because it's too pretty not to.
Oh my gosh, okay, so no one go to a dinner party at Caitlin's because she's gonna try to poison everyone with lead. So anyway, back to the Polson
Oh my
Museum.
god, sorry.
So they have a gift shop and it has a few books in stock, and one of which Caitlin has covered, Deep in the Woods, about the 1935 George Weyerhaeuser kidnapping.
Of course.
Funny I threw that in and you mentioned it, like you knew. And if you guys haven't heard it, we actually talked to the author of that book in the episode, so it's pretty cool.
So cool.
I kind of forgot about that until I started writing that, and I was like, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I know.
awesome."
He was so awesome. He was
It
really,
was.
really nice.
Yeah.
And like
Those are, like, some of my favorite
so
episodes still.
I know. Honestly, he was such a cool person to talk to, and his personal stories from like actually meeting George before he
Yeah.
passed, I'm like, whoa.
It's so cool. They do have another true crime book in the gift shop as well, The Port of Missing Men. It's about an early 1900s serial killer, Billy
Mhm.
Gohl.
Mhm.
Have you heard of him?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
I'm not
have.
gonna I'm not gonna deep dive it, obviously. Well, hopefully it doesn't ruin anything for you. Were you planning on covering it? Because I might ruin it.
You know, I think it would be interesting to talk about it at some point.
Okay.
I haven't chosen it as a case, and I feel like you got here first. That's your flag, baby.
I would definitely be interested. Like, you should get the book and do a whole deep dive on it because
Yeah,
what I have is just kind of, what the articles say. I didn't actually get the book and
totally.
read it because we all know I don't do the murder. So, but anyway, on to the 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 serial killer. Yay. Billy was a sailor who eventually became a bartender and representative for the Sailors Union of the Pacific when settling in Aberdeen. Sailors from all over would come by his office to collect mail and deposit valuables for what they assumed would be safekeeping.
Uh-oh.
It is said that he was not, in fact, keeping the sailors' valuables safe, but instead stealing them for himself.
Well, who could have seen that coming?
Well, it gets a little worse because it's also said that he, after stealing from them, would kill and dispose of their bodies in Gray's Harbor.
Yeah.
There were a large amount of sailors in the area who were missing or found dead, and some believe Billy was responsible for anywhere between 40 and 100 deaths, becoming known as the Ghoul of Gray's Harbor. I don't like to glorify murder, but that's a pretty good
It's a
nickname. Just
pretty
saying.
good yeah, it's a pretty good like, as monikers go, like, fuck, that's a good one.
Yeah. The Ghoul, because it kind of goes with his name, and it's like the G and the
It
G.
do
It's just
I mean,
superb reporting.
really, really, though.
He was arrested due to the confession of his alleged accomplice, convicted of only 2 murders, and sentenced to life in Walla Walla Penitentiary.
Only 2, though.
The evidence. It's like what we talked about in your case, you have to have the
Yeah.
evidence there to convict someone of a murder, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do think you should have evidence.
Yeah. But I think this was early 1900s though, so it was it
That's
could
my
have been
recollection.
before or right around the time that your
Mhm.
case was happening, because wasn't yours early 1900s too? It was 1900.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
after. So they would have had to have the fancy lawyer term that you said.
The corpus delicti, yeah, I think that
That,
dates back,
yeah.
I think that dates back, really far, probably,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, for sure, that helps, we know. Can
The fancy
confirm.
stuff.
Yeah. They got all the fancy shit, you guys.
Billy died in prison from, it says, pneumonia and dementia paralytic
Ooh.
caused by syphilis, but I'm like, can you die of
Oh.
2 things at the exact same time? Or would
Well,
one
I
beat out
mean,
the other?
I think I think especially back then, where just based on the limitations of science, they probably had a hard time sometimes determining,
Mm,
this one thing is the precise cause. So, I think a lot of times you used to see this more where it was like, well, they had this thing that was sort of like a chronic or, even if it was acute, they already had this, pre-established disease or disorder, And then something like pneumonia, if you're already physically compromised, if your immune system is compromised in some way, it can kind of just be like a contributing factor.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. This is where it gets interesting, though, and kind of where that book comes into play. So historians argue that Billy was actually an advocate fighting to protect sailor labor rights in brutal work environments that
Hmm.
could have probably been the cause of most of the missing sailors and the deaths of the sailors because it was freaking rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
They believe that the outspoken Billy could have just been a scapegoat for the sailors' deaths, getting rid of someone who could rally the people to organize strikes, which would cause a lot of problems and lost profits for politicians and businessmen in the area. So I thought that was pretty interesting. People developed this huge kind of like urban legend around him and that he killed like
Yeah.
100 people, but the historians think that's actually probably not the case.
Yeah. I could see where, I mean, and we see it in true crime cases where for any number of reasons, the number of victims becomes inflated. And whether it's the serial killer's own ego that like they're manufacturing that, or if
Mhm.
it's some other like sort of like almost like it's like a myth of public opinion, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
there
and
were
it may
a ton of sailors that went missing, but it doesn't
absolutely.
mean they're necessarily were murdered.
Absolutely. I will say I had to look this up because for a long time, like I think I've talked about it before, we've covered, cases in Alaska and other places where it's come up that like my dad was a commercial fisherman in Alaska. And for a long time, like most of like the entirety of my life, I've always like heard and read that, like, being a commercial fisherman, like, specifically, like, a crab like, if you're on a crab boat, that's supposed to be, like, the deadly like, that's why they call it deadliest catch, like, it's a
Right.
very dangerous job. What's interesting to me as I was looking to see, like, what is the most dangerous job, because I was like,
Mm.
maybe this has shifted. I feel like in the last maybe handful of years, um just given, like, if there's regulatory changes or there's new, like, safety implements that make it less dangerous. Um, but it's particularly relevant here because it says, um, logging workers are
Oh, shit.
consistently ranked as having the most dangerous job.
Damn. I mean, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
It's
but it
so
does
dangerous.
say, fishing and hunting workers. It's kind of
Mm.
it's like
Mhm.
logging, fishing, and hunting.
Well,
So,
it's like you can have all the safety precautions you want, but you're in fucking nature, like, especially
I
the
mean,
sea. The sea is
yeah.
unpredictable as fuck.
Yep. Yep, 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 yep.
So,
Yeah. Yep. Well, and those sailors, they've been known to have a drink or two.
yeah. Mhm. Yep. I'm sure they did.
Tale as old as time.
Speaking of a drink or two, Billy has a namesake bar called Billy's Bar and Grill. It is not the same building where his saloon and his office were,
Oh, okay.
but they have adopted his Lucky 7 house rules. Would you like to hear them?
Oh, yeah?
Number 1, always serve high quality food and beverages. Number 2, be generous with the portions. Number 3, give the fastest, friendliest service in town. Number 4, operate a lively but orderly establishment.
Honestly,
Number
these are
5,
just solid business tips.
right? I know, it gets better though, it
Yeah,
gets more interesting.
I love it.
Number 5, have a rip-roaring time every St. Patrick's Day and New Year's Eve.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I
Number
love
6
it.
is my favorite.
Okay.
Always sell the house liquor at half price on every lucky Friday the 13th.
Shut up.
Yeah. Isn't that cute?
That's adorable.
And then number 7, encourage the customers to share the luck by offering a toast to good health, good cheer, prosperity, and all. Oh, prosperity for all, and a round of drinks with the first royal flush.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So he was like a big gambler. He was a very big
Yeah.
superstition guy. So he like lived
Yeah.
by these lucky 7 rules in his saloon.
And I presume he was perhaps mayhaps Irish?
I don't know. I didn't look
I
it
don't
up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait, what's his name
Gohl,
again?
Billy Gohl, Gohl.
German American murderer.
Oh, I did know that. He was from Germany.
Okay.
I did know that. I just didn't put it in my
Okay.
notes.
Huh. Well,
I think people just like it because it's a drinking holiday, and he's like, "Let's fucking do this."
I mean, and if you're a tavern owner, having a
Mhm.
deference to drinking holidays really makes sense.
So I don't know. He sounds like kind of a cool dude. I'm not really sure. We definitely need Caitlin to do a deep dive on it because that's definitely not to say like you can be a cool dude in public and like be a fucking murderer behind closed doors. So
Right.
I don't know.
Remember all of those people that were super shocked that that really good-looking guy killed all of those co-eds in all of the places, like Colorado and Florida and all up and down Oregon and Washington? You may Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, did I give enough cues? Do you
Yeah.
know do you
I think I immediately knew when you said good looking because that's like the
Oh my god.
thing about it is everyone thought that. Well, not everyone,
I
but you know what I
like,
mean.
I really I and here's the thing. The part that really makes me angry about it is that I'm like, "Okay, he's not, like, ugly. He's not so good looking that I just can't, oh,
Yeah.
I just become a dams I just I don't listen, and maybe I have the benefit of hindsight and so much experience that some people in the past didn't, but, like, I've never thought, "Oh, that man, he's just far too good looking to have done all of these horrific things that other people are saying." Like,
Yeah.
multiple I just
He could turn on the charm, so that makes you more
Yeah.
attractive when you can
No,
be,
it
like,
it
funny and
does. It
outgoing
does,
and
and it makes you more, when you're charismatic and you're attractive that way, people have a hard time wrapping their head around somebody like that doing things that are bad.
yeah.
They do, because it like, you relate to that person and they're likable.
Just
You
don't
can
trust a man.
never meet a man, never trust a man. I realize that,
She's happily married, but it's fine.
yeah. Okay, but, like, just the one man, okay? Although I feel like now I feel like I have to caveat that because 'cause I'm like, "It's okay to be polyamorous." So,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? We're gonna come back. We're gonna workshop it. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna come up with better, guidelines, okay?
So Billy's Bar and Grill is reported to be haunted. A lot of people think that Billy haunts the place, even though it's not actually his place. But
Well,
I
but
mean,
he's
his
like, "It is my place."
yeah, it's named
Yeah.
after me. Like, I'm gonna come hang out. Reports say he stands behind the bar, just mean mugging everyone and not serving anyone. But I don't know, that's not the Billy I wanna believe in.
Yeah, I don't love that.
That's not
That's
the
not
Billy
a
with the lucky
point.
7 house rules. So, I mean, if
Huh.
he's a murderer, that's murderer Billy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's giving very much true crime vibes.
But, like, are people seeing that because that's what they think of him? You know?
Yeah.
Patrons have felt cold spots, heard voices, and had their plates or glasses pushed off the table by unseen hands. And I mean their drink glasses too, not their eyeglasses. So, like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
be pushing people's booze off the table. That's not cool.
I mean, don't touch my eyeglasses either, though. They're
Yeah.
way more expensive than the drink that I ordered. I have an astigmatism. Do you know how much extra that makes everything?
Sailors in early 1900s uniforms have sometimes been spotted visiting the bar. Are they spirits or just historical cosplayers?
I'm not mad at either. 'Cause, like, I feel like sometimes I wanna cosplay as, like, from a different era,
Mhm.
you know? Just for the clothes.
All the
Just for the
time,
clothes.
just for
Yeah,
the
not
vibe.
really so much for the societal issues. Um, but, the clothes.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the building that the bar and Billy's Bar and Grill is in, because 'cause it's been
Okay.
around a minute. It has its own history that may lend itself to hauntings. The Crowther Wooding building was built in 1904, and it has been home to a few different businesses. So it was a pharmacy, it was a drugstore, it was a couple different taverns, and by the '50s, it was a brothel upstairs. And they were known as the Elnora Room. It says Elnora on their website, and, like, all of the
Yeah.
articles change it to Eleonora, but I their website says
Oh.
Elnora, so that's what I'm gonna go with. They were known as the Elnora Rooms after the
Mhm.
madam. I always say madame, but, like, madame is, like, a fancy person, and a
Madam.
madam is, like, a woman pimp. It is said that a bullet hole still remains in the wall from a lady of the night who shot her pimp. So I'm like,
Oh
I made up this
my.
whole story in my head because I'm like, well, there wasn't a pimp there was a madam. So, like, this other lady of
Yeah.
the night was trying to leave her pimp, and he got pissed, so she had to shoot
Ooh,
him.
intrigue.
Don't know if that's true, but that's just the scenario I came up with in
That's
my head.
No, I like it. I like where your head went there because,
Mhm, thank you.
yeah, I mean,
He didn't like where his head went. Apparently, he died on
no.
the toilet. Like, she shot him through the bathroom, and, like, he died on the toilet.
Oh, no,
So,
but
I
not
don't know if he
like,
deserved it. I don't know. I'm just saying
well, I'm
he was
just
a pimp.
saying you know, if you're essentially enslaving people in the sex trade.
Yeah, not good. And people have reported seeing the ghost of sex workers of the time there, roaming the halls, maybe still looking for a little extra cash, trying to make their way in this world.
Girl,
We
get
don't
yours.
judge.
Stack that paper.
Yeah, we're only judging if someone's forcing you into it, and then we're judging the
Right.
person, not you.
Yeah,
Just
we're
FYI.
judging the exploitative nature of the thing, not
Yeah,
the person who is being victimized by a system of, you know, basically the design of patriarchy and
yeah,
misogyny and
and has to shoot their
racism.
way out, like,
Yeah.
literally, gosh. This brings us to another lady. Not a lady of the night, but a lady of the sea. The Lady Washington. A 1989 replica of the first American vessel to land in the nasty PNW
Oh.
in 1788. So it's not the original
Oh.
1788 ship, it's a replica of it. But still pretty fucking
Okay.
cool.
I was, honestly way cooler than what I was imagining. I was like, "Is that like the Starbucks mermaid or?"
It does have a late like, one of what do they call it? The
Like
lady on
one
the
of
front of
the
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 ship.
siren,
Yeah, but it's
right?
like it's not a
Yeah.
siren, but
Oh,
it's a
it's not?
woman. I don't know what it is. The
Oh.
woman on the ship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but they like traditionally it was like a mermaid style or like a sexy lady. It's like the mud flaps of the sea, you know?
So it's a figurehead. I was like, I know it has, like, some sort of
Mm. Mhm,
name.
mhm. Okay.
So I didn't add this, and I was about to, but it says the figurehead of Lady Washington was carved by Bob McCausland? I don't know. A
How's
former
it spelled?
cartoonist
Oh.
for the Seattle Post.
Oh.
Which I thought that was kinda cool, but I didn't we
Yeah,
don't
that
need
is
all the fun
cool.
facts, but since you bring it up.
Yeah. I mean,
The original ship was captained by Robert Gray, which is why it's named Gray's Harbor,
Grace
not after Grey's
Harbor.
Anatomy.
Okay.
'Cause, this one was first, and anyway, you guys get it.
Whatever.
Lady Washington is kind of a famous broad, the replica. We're back to the replica. So, she's been featured in Star Trek Generations, Once Upon a Time, which I was like, I fucking love that
Wow.
show, and even Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was gonna say, the first thing that came up was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ah, see, ruined it. No, I'm just kidding. But isn't that cool? I would, like, didn't even think about that, and I was like, "Ah,
Very
I love
cool.
this." And another, I think it was a movie, Revolution. I don't know what that was, so I deleted it, but
Oh,
it was in
yeah.
that, if you guys know what that is. Although the crew does not have any paranormal experiences to report, it is believed that its presence in historical seaports attracts spirits of long dead sailors, invoking their love of the sea.
I mean, doesn't that kinda track?
Yeah, I think so. It, like,
I
comes
think
into a
so.
port, riles up all the old sailor spirits, gets them going,
The
gets the
old sea
people going.
dogs.
Yeah.
It gets the people going.
I do, like, love that image of just, like, them getting all excited for, like, "Oh, so look, this is from our time," because they see all this other crap that they don't even know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is, and then they see this old-timey
Oh,
ship, and they just get
yeah.
stoked. Also, okay, we have one last thing to talk about. It's super fast, and I just had to throw it in there because I just love cemeteries. So there's an old cemetery in the area. It's called Johns River Pioneer Cemetery, and it was once only accessible by boat during high tide.
What?
So they had to go on high tide and, like, you bury or mourn or do visit whatever they were gonna do, and then wait for the tide to get high tide again and then go back. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I know. Nowadays, you can get there by a 2-mile hike, so it's a little bit more accessible if you wanna hike,
Honestly, sounds peaceful though, because who is dealing with all of those shenanigans?
right? I know, and it was only, I think they said, about, like, 20 graves are there. It's all overgrown, and it's not
Wow.
kept up anymore. It's from the early 1800s, so yeah. But it looked, there was a blog or an article or something with a bunch of pictures
Hmm.
of someone who went there, and it does look very peaceful, like,
Yeah.
yeah, nice little hike and views if that's what you're into, which I would be into, but
I would
we're not
be
gonna go hiking for
into.
a minute.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
last time I broke my ankle. It's fine.
Yeah.
I What was I gonna say? Oh, I don't think I have a deck that would be any better than the PNW deck, if you wouldn't mind pulling a
Oh,
card, because I think that would be a really good deck for this one.
yeah.
Is it the same card?
No,
Oh.
but
Oh, okay. That's so funny. What was the other one?
the
Oh, sorry.
chariot.
Okay, I'm like, for people who can't see, one popped out that was, I was it dolphins in the ocean or something?
I'm not sure. I'll have to um let me flip the deck so I can. Oh, okay, it's still on the bottom. It was the chariot. These look like gray whales. That's the
Ooh,
one that tried to flip out. Gray
okay.
whales.
Dude, I feel like we're meant to pull that one too.
Maybe.
Grace
Okay, let's
Harbor.
just saying. But we pulled the Queen of Cups, and I literally turned like perfectly to the exact page. So our keywords are creativity, fertility, strong emotion, change, and intuition.
That, I mean, I feel like
Interesting.
that makes sense to me for the Billy's Bar and Grill with the brothel
Does
on
it?
top. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because the queen, the madam, I don't know, all of those things kind of fit for me.
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't have thought of that. My
I guess the
focus
ship
was
too. What was yours?
yeah. Well, as per usual, I'm kind of focused on the true crime.
Oh.
So, yeah. The upright queen represents deep emotions, compassion, and caring. When she comes up, you're experiencing strong emotions about someone or something. She can also urge you to use your intuition or express your creativity.
That totally reminds me of the ship, because they had, like, a bunch of historians go into how they actually built the original ship and built it, like, in the same way and made sure everything was exactly right.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's pretty cool.
If this card signifies a real person, she's nurturing and generous, ruled by her heart, not her head. She's changeable and sometimes unreliable. Okay, here we go. Extra excerpt before the 3 bullets, okay?
Okay.
The Queen of Cups is like a body of water, ever flowing onward as she brings inspiration and feeling to the world.
Aw.
Though she may sometimes seem as immutable as the sea itself, she is ever true to her heart.
That is so cool that we got something that specifically, like, mentions the sea.
It does. Okay. In a reading about money, the queen can mean earning money from a creative activity. Often she recommends being flexible and willing to make changes. Use your intuition as well as your intellect in financial matters.
Okay. That could be a lady of the night.
Yeah, it could be.
You gotta be flexible, you gotta use your intuition, the bad guys from the good
Yeah,
guy well, the semi probably
seriously.
maybe good guys, I don't know.
If the reading is about your job, this can be a creative and inspired time for you. To be happy, you need to be able to use your imagination in your job. Sometimes the queen shows an unrealistic attitude about work or a desire to be taken care of rather than working.
Ladies of the night.
Yeah, I was going to say,
That's all I could think of, I don't know.
honestly, in a reading about love, the upright queen represents a deeply romantic, sensual, and emotional relationship. You open yourself to a partner and lavish him or her with love. Sometimes the queen advises you to be more discriminating. This is a fortunate card if you want to have children.
Oh,
Interesting.
I don't know about that. Well, there was a
Yeah.
child ghost, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't
there's that. Yeah.
but that last part you read does remind me of what I said about, like, the ship coming into old ports and attracting spirits of long dead sailors, invoking their love of the sea. So it's kind of like you're in love with the sea, but the sea is, like, so dangerous that it might kill you. That's what it reminded me of.
All right. So the other card is the chariot. It is number 7 in the major arcana.
It's my
Con-
card, my Cancer
That's
card.
true.
Not the card I pull, but, like, the card that's
Mhm.
associated with Cancer.
Keywords are controlling opposing forces, willpower, resolving conflict, and travel. Which, I mean, travel.
Yeah, the ships, the sailors, the
Upright, the chariot symbolizes taking control of competing forces, whether these are inner conflicts, people, or a situation in your life in order to reach your goals.
Goal, Billy Gohl.
Goal! Oh, God.
And he was
Ah!
apparently, like, fighting for all these he was, fighting the opposing forces to try to get, labor rights for the
I
sailors.
mean, kinda true, right? And then also
Yeah,
potentially, maybe, possibly murdering some of
murdering,
the
yeah.
sailors.
Hmm,
You're being carried towards your destination as quickly as possible,
wow.
which makes me think of a current,
Yeah,
just for what it's worth. Whatever the task, you can handle it. You're keeping up with the changes that are happening at your job, in a relationship, or in some type of community or worldly involvement,
wow. It
whatever
just
that
makes me
means.
wonder, like, if he was really this good person, what would have happened? Like, would the sailors have been even more safe if he wasn't convicted?
Oh, I
I don't
mean,
know.
maybe.
I don't know. We don't know. Caitlin's got a
No
deep
one
dive on it and figure it out for
I
us.
I know. No pressure, right? In a reading about money, this card says you can't rush things. All you can do is hold on to the reins and guide the situation using your willpower and mastery to bring a financial matter to a successful conclusion. If the reading is about your job, The Chariot reminds you that to succeed, you need self mastery. Interesting term. You possess the means to triumph over your obstacles and stay the course you've set for yourself. You're holding things together successfully, uniting opposing forces to stay on track. However, you may be required to make frequent adjustments to continue going in the right direction.
Huh.
In a
He
reading
didn't make
about
enough
love.
adjustments.
Huh?
He didn't make enough adjustments and he got stopped.
Maybe not. Yeah. I don't know. In a reading about love, this card recommends spending time in self development rather than chasing after love. This may not be the right time to start a romance.
Hmm.
If you're in a relationship already, you may need to take control of conflicting feelings or attitudes to bring about harmony. And I would say, honestly, if nothing else, this makes me think of the brothel as well. Like, I think
Yeah.
a lot of times people report it being very difficult to have romantic relationships when they are engaged in sex work.
Yeah. Because
I
men
don't
are
know
a
if
little
there's
possessive.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any other tie-ins, but that was kind of my initial thought. So,
Yeah. I don't know. It made me think of, let's see, kind of that same thing where it's like love of the sea or like Billy's possible love of trying to help people, but like it ultimately could kill you or not turn out well, you know? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, there's
But that
that.
doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You should always try to help people. Fight for people's rights who can't do it themselves.
Wow, you're saying a mouthful there, sister.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was cool. I really liked that they just both had the C on them
I
and
mean,
so cool. Is it just whales on that other card? I can't tell if what that big
it
thing is.
it looks like it. I cannot reach the little book.
Okay. I
It
couldn't tell
is
if
too
it was a
far.
ship or something. Like, of course you would have said
Oh,
if it was a
no.
ship, but
No, I'm pretty sure we've gotten this card at some point, and I'm pretty sure these are all gray whales.
yeah, so to me, when you're holding it up, it looks like the bottom of a ship with, like, a bunch of whales swimming under it is what it looks like to
Yeah,
me,
it
which is
kind of
kinda cool.
does. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm tired.
I know, me too. I'm ready to eat,
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
though I
go
just
oh my
snacked,
god,
but
go eat. I know.
have
Have
a
a
creepy
creepy
ass
ass day.
day. We'll see
We'll
you
see
next
you next
Thursday.
Thursday.